welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is once, of course, going to be Oranconius, and we need to bring you all the action of the Invidious versus Chiefs series. Of course, we've already seen one game, such a big lead, such a well-pressured map going the way of the Chiefs. Timmy, what have they got to do to make sure they secure Game 2?
Secure Game 2, just basically do what they did before. They gotta do a very solid draft pick. They need to communicate as well as they did beforehand, and just participate in all the kills. They grouped up immediately when they had the slightest lead, and they forced the hand of Invidious out of their comfort zone where they didn't want to do. Because Invidious, they didn't really have the kind of control that they were getting out of Top Notch. He was playing the Loki, which doesn't really have any crowd control other than the Assassinates. So they didn't really have to worry about getting caught out of position so much, you know, taking a step forward where they shouldn't have. They just really, they forced it. They forced fights, they forced objectives, and they did it so well.
Yeah, and I think as well, coming through, is a little bit of... Top Notch is not quite... We haven't seen a lot of Assassin play from him. Not even when it's been really sort of popular the last couple of matches in towards that solo lane. We haven't seen any Alquan play out of him. No Renatoska, nothing like that. He generally plays... We've just seen Odin, basically.
Yeah,
we've
seen Odin and we've seen Tyr. Those are his two strongest warriors in the solo lane. That's what he's good at, and he does it exceptionally well.
Well, into picks and bans already. It's going to be Ares' first ban coming through for
Invidious
this time around. Yeah, well, Prenzel played it so well last game.
He really did. Like, I just love it that he did it right at the very beginning, getting the Mark of the Ban card, because that allowed him to do whatever he wanted. The minions didn't hurt him all that much, and he used all of the strengths of Ares to his advantage. He wasn't shy with the no escapes, popping the Across the Skies and the Cataclysm out of Rana Barana and Nikrik. Just stopping them from being able to do anything. They weren't able to initiate, they weren't able to rotate, and they just controlled them from the very beginning.
Yeah, well, Bologna going to be coming through, and I don't think we need to talk about that one once again. All the Alquan ban, all the Athena ban we've seen.
Bologna's banned because she's banned. Like, she's not allowed. It's a sin.
No, that's it. No, that's it. I quit. Bologna's in the game. I quit. I'm out. See you guys later.
Pretty much. That's how I feel every time I go up against a Bologna.
Anyway, Alquan and Athena as well going to round out the ban list. First pick. There's a lot open here, especially in terms of what Invidious may want to go for. And they've got first pick. They've got a wealth of options here.
Yeah, and they are going to go ahead and pick up the Sylvanas. I do agree with this. I've seen Nikrik play Sylvanas beforehand, and it's nothing lacking. He does it very well. The other thing as well is that it takes it away from Chiefs. I know that Prinzo, like, he won my heart when I saw him do a 5-man Wrath of Terror. Like, I lost it. Like, you don't want to give Sylvanas to anyone. He's just too strong in the lane. The Wisp heal you up so much. He gives absolute lane dominance at the moment. And he's so good late game. He's got one of the best Guardian ultimates in the game.
You can pick him with whoever the heck you really want to run. If you want to run a high pressure lane and focus on the objectives that we saw, I think it was the Direwolves do yesterday so successfully. They ran Neath and they ran Sylvanas on the left-hand side of the map. You can just create pressure out of that. If you want to run something late game, Xbalanque, you know, even though we did just some Chiefs,
Apollo, Ram, they all struggle a little bit with wave clear, and Sylvanas, they pick them back up. If they ever get bullied out by, say, a Medusa or a Neath who are stronger early on, that's alright, but I'll just hit you up with a Wisp, have a medkit. There you go.
Yeah, like, and it's such a... It's not like mana intensive on the medkit as well. And then you can plant a tree behind him and just go, alright, wave's cleared, we're a little bit low, I'm going to back up and just sap this mana. That's what I do. I'm Sylvanas. I'm a tree, I give you things, have things, here they are.
Love me! But the next picks coming out here are going to be to the way of Chiefs, and it's going to be best stat. That's going to Maxon, no doubt about it.
Really? No doubt about it? No, it's 100% going to Maxon. It's exactly his type of god. Fits perfectly in towards his pool. Agni going to be comboed in here with it as well. So there is a lot of damage and a lot of catch potential that the Chiefs are going to have, and the potential to roam around and make big plays with such high mobility and such nice sustained damage from these two.
I've been asked before, why is Agni so preferred in OCE? And I turn around and say it's because he's so versatile and so combat ready. He has beautiful combinations with all of his abilities. You use the Noxious Fumes on just about anything. You can control a fight, you can get yourself out, you can help someone with a gank, you can help heal for your people, or you can just go absolutely ham and cheese. Throw out as many rain fires as you want and just try and burst someone down so fast. But
no, hang on. Only 3 rain fires. Only 3, not 4. Only 3.
Only 3. Did I say 4?
No, you said as many as you want.
I don't want as many as I want.
Yeah, it's only 3. I'm sorry, Timmy. I'm sorry. Talk to Hi-Rez. They might give him a 4th. They might even give him a 5th if you do some really nice stuff.
Nah, no, you're just being silly. But the thing is that Agni is just always ready to fight. And that's OCE, just fight. And he's always ready for it. But the next pick's coming out here is going to be Thor. That's going to be going to Freemason. He loved himself some Thor.
And importantly as well, comboed off the back of it, it is going to be the Just Rogue Scylla. Picked away from him last time. Picked away from him last time. This one was drafted by his lane opponent in Crazy Aussie, and, well, it's going to be in Just Rogue's hands as well. Incredibly mobile, able to get around the map, and able to create that kill pressure with some nice CC. And Sylvanas Thor already setting up for it really nicely, and crucially, Sylvanas goes to the mid lane a fair bit. He can buy a lot of time for Scylla as well.
Yeah, Scylla, she needs a little bit of a helping hand, but now we've seen a lot of the rotations from the junglers coming in early to just really try and help them out. We're going to see the next pick up here is going to be Geb, going to the way of Prinzel. Prinzel, he has very strong initiations with the Blink ultimates, and a Blink Cataclysm is nothing to shake a stick at.
But then for me, this is kind of just night and day from what we've seen in him in this series. He just played Ares. He just played Ares into Geb. He definitely knows the limits of Geb. We can see that against an Ares. But this is a passive laner. And it's against Sylvanas. So Sylvanas, once you're knocked up, you can't cleanse a knock-up. Knock-ups are uncleansable. Once you're in the air, you're in the air. If you beat beforehand, you stop the CC before it happens. But once you're in the air, you're knocked up. And if we would have seen a Wheelish, for example, you'd be able to grab them back down, and that'd be cause some chaos. But this is 2 different sets of champions. I'd be interested to see how well Prinzel plays this time around.
Yeah, Prinzel, I think he really knows Geb as well. He knows he can't fight mid-crit early on the Sylvanas, but he knows that later on, the Blink Cataclysms, they're going to be a great way to start off a fight. And he's just so good at being where he needs to be, and Geb can get around quicker than most Guardians, except for Athena if she uses Defender of Olympus. Next band's coming out, however, Odin once again getting taken away from Top Notch.
But the Xbalanque ban is what intrigues me just a little bit more, but we've already touched on it, right? We said it goes well with Sylvanas. Oh, look, we're going to buy a late game. It fits into Rana's God Pool as well. It just sort of fits that playstyle that he really wants to go after. He really so heavily relies on the rest of the map to buy him time and just sit over there and be like, right, all the action is not going to happen on this side of the lane. We're going to shove it to the right-hand side of the lane. I'm not sure if I'm pushing left or right here.
Get off the lawn, I'm not ready yet.
It's like, yep, not gonna do anything. I'm gonna wait for that 30-minute point where I'm just gonna go, yep, items are online, and Xbalanque fits that pool, and they've just used it as well, the Chiefs. They were like, all right, we don't want to deal with this. We've got Agni, we've got Bastet, we've got Geb. We're looking for that combo. Xbalanque's dash is just too much.
Yeah, Xbalanque dash, Rise and Joker is just too much to deal with. However, in response to the Xbalanque ban, Medusa will be picked up, and they'll be going to Gruff. Gruff loves Medusa. Like, this is the comfort pick that I see Gruff being picked up. And I've seen him grow throughout the OPL when he started going into this ADC role. Medusa was his comfort pick. It was his comfort food. You know, he was, like it says, his casserole. But he's become so proficient with those petrifies. He's using them right at the perfect time, get the CC immunity, force people off him, force him onto people, so he can try and kill people off with it. And it's so hard to deal with. Not to mention, Medusa with a Geb. Geb has an easier time. Medusa, she can take care of herself, no worries. Geb, he can just hang out, be a rock, get some golden XP, and wait until he can do what he does.
Geb's just sitting in the background, just going, yeah, rock it out. out, yeah!
What was that?
That was Geb rocking out.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah,
You are the worst at puns. Like, your puns, I will admit, your puns are good, but I hate you for them.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here because I'm a great caster. I'm here for my puns.
I'm here because I'm a funny man. But,
yeah, that's right. Anyway, Ula and Tia are going to be picked up, and with Odin taken off the board. Hello, Top Notch.
Hello, Tier Notch. Like, Tier is like his second go-to. Like, Odin's his first, Tier's a good second, and he does Tier very well. He knows how to do the Blink Fearless to a T. He knows where to do it, what direction to do it, how to manipulate his enemy. He is a controller. He thrives on people who can control others. I'm making Top Notch seem like a really horrible person, aren't I?
Not really. You're just making me feel like he's a really good damn player. If Top Notch, if you're listening, we did realize that your name and Tier's name does have a capital T, and it fits you perfectly. Trouble with a capital TT.
Yeah, he does well with the people who he does well with. The Loki, I'm not too sure about. He didn't really seem very comfortable in it. He was losing lane very quickly, and he just wasn't able to really do anything because Chiefs forced their hands so quickly. But the final pickup going into the solo lane is going to be the Chuck going towards Alkiro. Alkiro, he likes Chuck because he can just stay in the fight, heal up as much as he wants, and he can just be in the back line, be in the front line, be in the back line of the enemy team. Doesn't matter where he is, he's doing well because he's either disrupting people or initiating for his own team.
He's just that big body. It's just like, I'm standing here, I'm gonna dance around, and I'm gonna get health back because I'm dancing. Because that's what you do with the rain dance.
Yeah, he's an immovable
what this
object.
tells me, coming through from Alkiro as well, is that he's scared of Top Notch. They wanted to give him the counter pick, and Chuck, basically, I'm gonna farm. I'm gonna throw my axe. I'm gonna farm. That's it. So, wave cleared. It's basically like a less risky form of Loki. The only risk with it is that you have to rotate heavily, but that fits the Chiefs' playstyle, right? That fits exactly what they did, and then their opponents. The axe can get him around the map quickly. Top Notch, I mean, he's on tier. That's what you got to be careful of. He can jump over walls and initiate great from that, and then turn into the Fearless. He can blink forward. He's got a lot of options here. Chuck's very sort of, I've got a silence, I've thrown max, dancing away, I'm still getting burned through. Yeah, it's not like there's much you can mechanically do in the way of Chuck to actually improve your team's performance. You're just like, I'm beefy, I'm not going to lose lane, and that's what we're after here.
I'm going to stand in front of all of the damage, so I'm a big bullet sponge, basically. I don't care. You guys are living, kill them. You got a job to do. See you later. Like, that's what he does. He is a bullet sponge. He's the movable object of the Oceania League.
I forget who the Myrmidons just got picked up by, but their solo laner, Mogao. He is just known for his Hades and his Chuck. He just likes to play these aggressive sort of gods. And when you see him pressing lane, he immediately looks to rotate and put pressure on the map post 5, right? He's immediately, as soon as that lane is shoved in, he wants to, okay, are we set up anywhere? Is his first response. And then if not, he looks to pressure the other person on the tower immediately. He's never, ever sitting idly by, and that's what we're going to need to see from Alkiro. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a quick 2-minute break, and we're going to go straight into the act. Oh, production is telling me that production hasn't made any mistakes this stream, and we were trying to force production to make some mistakes this stream, but we do have a game immediately for you. We're not even going to go to a 2-minute break because we've clearly talked through the 2-minute break. Timmy, take us down the Chiefs roster.
All right, on the right-hand side of your spectator UI, find on the top side of your mini-map, we have Chiefs Esports Club. Alkiro is Chuck in the solo lane. Maxon is on the kitty cat Bastat in the jungle, bouncing around. Crazy Aussie is in the mid lane as Agni, combat ready and set to go. And the duo lane is Princeal and Gruff playing Geb and Medusa.
Well, let's take a look down at the lineup of Invidious now. I believe it was. You did the Chiefs, yeah?
Yeah, you told me to do Chiefs, so I went ahead and did Chiefs.
Man, I'm all over it. I'm all over it today. Top Notch is going to be your solo laner on the tier, the tierable. Freemason is going to be in the jungle and has just popped a red pot back at the base, so he's invested 450 gold into that one on the Thor. He's looking for aggression. Scylla in the mid lane, the little girl. Can she outplay her big fiery opponent? It's just Rogue on Scylla, and Necryk is going to be doing a little bit of gardening on the Sylvanas with his duo laner, Rana Barana, on the ult.
I'm a little bit worried about Rana Barana and Necryk having trust issues as soon as those axes come out. Just saying. You didn't like my puns?
No,
I
he's
love your
mine to
puns.
CC first. I was supposed to CC him first. Check out the start coming through from Invidious. Look at what they're doing here. They've got 3 grouped up to left-hand side mid-camp. Look at the start in itemization from Rana Barana as well coming through. This is the only Bluestone pendant we've ever seen since the nerfs, but he's still got the Morningstar there as well. This is basically saying, I need to go into Transcendence, I need the mana, I also need the mana sustain at level 1, I need more than what a charged Morningstar can give me.
Yeah, although he does have a lot of issues with the mana early because his abilities don't clear very well, and his auto attacks at the very beginning are not the strongest, so he does struggle a little bit, and he does end up having to switch stances a lot to be able to keep up with his opponents. And just using a lot of abilities, he normally uses 2 abilities every wave, so he's already at a disadvantage on the mana front, so maybe the Bluestone will be enough. However, towards these mid-camps on the right-hand side...
There's going to be aggression coming through. I'm going to take a look at the graphs, because I feel like Invidious might have gotten those, but I'm going to see immediately that I feel it was the Chiefs that got that second camp.
I think Invidious did get something. There is a bit of a spike, and it is currently just about even. It's very hard to tell, but all I know is that Invidious, they're not happy. They're looking for a fight. Freemason's got that red pot, and he's playing the Thor. He should be looking for these early aggression plays here.
Maybe it's just clear. I'm thinking it's just clear because they were looking for that second mid. They were looking to get 2 mid camps and get a lot of levels onto Just Rogue as quickly as possible. They're now on the red camp. I have a feeling they're going to do back camps after this wave as well. They're looking to race to that 5 without losing anything.
Yeah, Scylla, as soon as she hits 5, she does do exceptionally well. The thing is, though, is that Agni also does very well because all of a sudden he's got this ultimate which comes off cooldown at least every 30 seconds. Costs no mana, it can use it from a safe distance, and it adds so much flavor to his kit. He can do so much, he really turns on at level 5.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the right-hand side, and you'll notice that Top Notch has actually been zoned under tower here by Elkira. That's kind of what we expected, though. That's what you generically see, but Top Notch, you should be looking for a little bit of outplays as soon as he starts to hit towards level 5. Look at the mana bar difference between our 2 solo laners as well. Elkira's mana buff will be wearing off very shortly, but he opted into a red pot as well.
I think that's why he's bullying out Top Notch a little bit. Not to mention, like you said earlier, Shark has very safe, very easy clear. So as soon as he's cleared out the minions, he's going to be looking to fight Top Notch, make use of that red pot, as well as the fact that he's got a much more readily available heal. Just pressing 3, whereas Top Notch has to switch stance, do the power cleave, get as many hits as he can, go back into the other stance, do what he needs to do. Whereas Elkira, he presses 3. Like, he's looking to fight.
And he's got sustain. We'll look at the mana bar difference right now as the mana buffs do start to wear off. Going to be a little bit tankier from Top Notch as well. He's still full health, and he's still got a mana bar to speak of. Chuck does not.
Chuck does not?
Oh, well, not as big as Top Notch anyway.
Yeah.
Nice bit of damage, bit of power cleave. Top Notch taking a little bit more damage, but that red pot, it hasn't got long left.
Oh, there's a rotation coming on to the right-hand side. Top Notch has said enough is enough. We're going to go ahead and go into Elkiro.
Down comes the stuns. They didn't find the armor monster, and now the silence is down for Elkiro. This is probably going to mean he's going to get out. He's got the rain dance. Just Rogue wants to go a little bit more ham, and he's taken a lot of damage for it. Had to rotate so many members, and they're going to get nothing from it. Yeah.
Not to mention, though, is that Just Rogue, he rotated over to try and do something, but he also didn't get the mid camp on the left hand side, and he does also go down to Maxim, which is going to put him even further behind. This is not what he wanted. He wanted to be able to get ahead early as possible against Crazy Aussie to really try and dominate this mid lane and give room to Invidious to breathe.
Yeah, well, having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm going to just see if we can just cut to a break for about 5 seconds so we can just fix just a few things up. Guys, don't worry, we'll be back in just a few seconds. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about the difficulties. We're just trying to figure a few things out. We're now back into the action, and it's all fixed, all good. And we're back into the game. So Chief's gonna get 2 kills on the right-hand side of the map, and then get a tower immediately, and just return back to their roaming ways.
Yeah, and Invidious are not quite where they need to be. They want to try and stall out this game as much as possible. However, they can't put themselves behind a little bit. Just Rogue is falling behind on the gold already, 500 behind Crazy Aussie, as well as Rana getting that blue stun pendant early. Even though it is helping him, it will mean that he won't get his Transcenders as quickly as he needed to. He got the greater sprint to be, not greater sprint, sorry, improved sprint. And that is $600, 600 gold gone. He doesn't have the Transcendence yet, but Gruff is already stacking, already with 11 stacks, so he needs to be very careful with his next decisions.
Yeah, and that Charge Morningstar as well, into a Transcendence. That's not a cheap part. That's another 1,400 gold he's going to find to get in towards that one before he even begins stacking. They're going super late game from the side of the Invidious boys. They're going to have to do something to buy themselves that, though, because they've already lost that right-hand side tower, and this has freed up Elkiro to do a little bit more roaming.
Yeah, Elkiro can start roaming around a little bit more, start forcing the hand of Invidious around the map, especially on Just Rogue, trying to keep him down below below Crazy Aussie, almost called them both Just Rogue. But yeah, like, he's top notch. He's lost his tower already. There's not a whole lot he could have done about it. Oh, on the left hand side, actually, Rana is in a bit of danger here. Catcall has come out here, but he is under tower. He will be able to get away from this.
He's run a long way back to let them cats time out. He'll at least have some lifesteal to finally tick them through, and Freemason is in the area as well. They're thinking about a re-engage. They know that that ultimate is down for the meantime, and that left-hand side mid-cam taken. Everyone's roaming towards the mid lane. This could be a pick for Freemason.
Freemason is, in fact, in a dangerous spot, but he's going to go ahead and get out here. But quick little thing, Nick just used his blink to try and get himself some distance away, so he can't initiate here, and he can't get away in an instant. But Top Notch coming in, though,
is going to do the exact opposite of that. Who won't need to initiate from the side of Netcrick. It's Top Notch that was going to do it. They got a lot of damage down towards Crazy Aussie, but they're still getting pressed underneath this mid tower.
Yeah, Chiefs, they're doing what they were doing last time. They're trying to force Invidious into a spot that they really don't want to be in. They're trying to force fights, force objectives, and they can do it. They are ahead far enough, and they do have the grouping. Cataclysm coming out on the mid lane, as well as the Storm Call. Freemason takes out Princel, and Elkiro is not far away from that.
Yeah, so he's actually going to fall down. It's going to be a 2v2 trade. All things considered, I think slightly favoring the guys from the side of Invidious. Looking for a little bit more is Rana. He's going to leap over a wall and look for some axes. Looking for the hail. Not quite going to find it. He does get a lot of damage on a Crazy Aussie. Are they able to attack him? No! It's going to be the Petrify. Freemason's low. He gets the wall down, but it's not going to be enough. He falls over, and Gruff is now looking to continue the aggression onto Rana.
Maxon going even further down. Razor Whip's going to do its work onto Rana, force him out there. And Nickrick is going to try and defend this tower by himself. He does manage to chase off Gruff and Crazy Aussie.
Oh, he gets the hook! Yeah, and that was on a Crazy Aussie. Not quite a snipe coming through from Rana in the background either, so they're still forced to look for the disengage on that mid lane. They're losing so much XP here. So much gold here from Invidious. Look at the difference already. It's 2k in favor of Chiefs and 3k on the XP, and they haven't even done a Gold Fury yet.
No, they haven't. They do have the wards up, though. The Sentry Ward is on the Gold Fury, just to make sure there's no funny business from Invidious trying to rush out Chiefs at their own game. But, like, Invidious, they're in a little bit of a tough spot here, because they need to stall out the game, but they need to farm up. The Chiefs are not letting them. On the left-hand side, you can see Princel is getting some funny ideas.
Yeah, and so is Maxon coming forward a long way as well. Feel like they secured that buff.
Oh, Just Rogue is in a dangerous spot. He could get pincered here. Although, the Gold Fury is going to get started by Gruff here.
Yeah, might have another idea about that one if Freemason's about to take this guy like I think he is. Looking to zone out a little bit on towards Princel. Princel's going to do enough work, and that's the disengage. Chiefs are going to get their first Gold Fury at 9 minutes in.
Elkiro also zoning out Just Rogue, making sure no... Oh, actually, Envelope Dom from Freemason coming in there. Not going to be able to hit anything, so he goes ahead and retreats back to Just Rogue. Invidious are really split up at the moment. They're really chiseled away from each other, and Freemason might actually go down to the Razor Whip. But he's on such low health. He's on 60 health.
Oh, manages to live through that one and not quite go down this time around. Not just being the one that's been forced to rotate around, he's lost his tower, so he can't sit over there. Maxon looking for more damage, more zoning potential. And Just Rogue doesn't want to let him. They still want to get this mid lane tower, but it's living on half health, and Net Crick's come back here as well.
Link Fatal is coming in here, but the shield will come out, protecting Maxon. And the Stone Cold does come down. 2 kills to the way of Chiefs, TopNotch, and Net Crick.
Maxon is going to fall to an in-hand from Freemason. They might look for a little bit more on the side of Invidious. They have got a little bit better cooldown, as I'm feeling. No, there's no cooldowns really online. So it's just going to be a disengage from everyone. Crazy Aussie's going to look for damage potential as Just Rogue, who burned the beads and now comes through the hammer. Look at the spin to win from Freemason. Not quite able to secure Crazy Aussie, but at least scare him off.
He doesn't quite have what he needs. He only has the Warrior's Hobby at the moment, and the Red Pot is no longer a factor. That's on. So he is struggling a little bit to find that damage. He is leveling up the Berserker Barrage and the Millionaire's Tournament evenly at the moment. So he's focusing on both ganking and farming. However, he's not quite at that stage where he can do either one at an exceptional speed.
Oh, well, gonna have to do what he can for the meantime. Just Rogue grabbing away that red buff just to keep himself in the game. Ranabrana has finally picked up the Transcendence and 20 stacks into that one. So he'll be online fairly shortly. Of course, both Hunters going for the RC build route this game means that it's going to be a lot less interesting. We're not going to see any crazy Fatalis build routes, I'm sure.
No Fatalis? You don't like Fatalis?
Oh, I like it with Dev Gauntlets. I don't like it with Trans.
Yeah, Trans with Fatalis is a little bit strange. But there is a little bit of a slap fight going on the solo lane. Alkiro and TopNotch. How far Alkiro is pushed up? He doesn't even have any wards. He just doesn't care. He's such a bully at the moment.
He's Chuck. He's going to throw an axe. He's going to jump to the axe. He's going to get out.
Oh, left-hand side, though. Freemason's coming down onto
left-hand side. Freemason was looking for some aggression. Pretzels now here. Thinking about a Cataclysm in a second. Blink through from Net Crick. Gets both of them. They're going to look for Gruff. Petrify did come through and only found Net Crick, and now Maxon's here. This is going to be a dead runner if he gets caught, but Gruff is going to be the first to fall. Gruff will respond with Net Crick. Ranabrana's low. The ticking damage. It won't secure him, and Freemason is not healthy either.
Oh! Great fight, taking out Freemason as well, just finishing them off.
Call down to Just Rogue in the backline. He's in trouble now, and Freemason.
Oh, where'd our kill come from? He's in the backline, just he's sandwiching the rest of Invidious.
He's got teleport.
Yeah.
Just burn teleport.
Just burn teleport. So hey guys, I'm in party.
And now it's going to be TopNotch that's pretty much isolated underneath that tower. Alkiro is looking for some aggression. Maxon and Prenzel take a lot of damage here, and TopNotch is still looking to stay alive. He might be in a world of hurt, though. Just Rogue gets dashed onto wards, and the rain fire does it, but they're going to look to secure Crazy Aussie. Snare under the tower. They've got him. Net Crick picks that one up, so it's going to be one in response, but look at the Chiefs. They're getting aggressive, and they're getting aggressive on towers as well.
They are, however, not doing quite as much as they did last time. Invidious are trying to hold them off.
He's looking at Prenzel. They're going to get the stun as well. Prenzel's in trouble. They might get something back here. Invidious, they're still looking to slap him around. He's got no mana now. Down comes the Berserker Barrage, and Freemason to secure the kill. Net Crick might look for more than that, but Gruff's got the respawn, and he's back in here. So it's going to be a disengage from the Invidious and the Chiefs, but Invidious starting to find little bits and pieces towards their composition.
Yeah, they realized, you know, we cannot give Chiefs an inch and then let them take a mile. We have to fight back while the advantage is still as close as it is. So they are fighting back, which is what they really needed to do. And they're starting to take the game more into their pace rather than Chiefs. So they might come back here. This might be a split.
Well, take a look at the itemization just starting to be finished and online. Look at the mid lane. Standard build route coming through thus far for Just Rogue. He's gone into the Bancroft's Talon, magical power, bit of magical lifesteal. And it's going to be the Spear of the Magus coming through for Crazy Aussie as well. Get himself some mid camps, get himself some penetration. He's got a little bit of lifesteal, magical lifesteal coming through from the Tiny Trinket as well. But solo laners, similar items at this point in time. Hunters, identical. It's pretty much identical across the board.
Oh, TopNotch in a bit of danger though. Max has found him. He's pounced down onto him. The Razor Whip not going to be able to do all that much. Notch is quite tanky at the moment, being that tier. He is buying time, and he's in the perfect spot to feel this, then right back to his team.
Prenzel can't come in here. He's been zoned off with that wall. They're really split from the side of the Chiefs, but look at the health bars on Invidious. The blink in, the engage is on towards NetCrick and TopNotch. TopNotch gets over the wall, but he's ticking. I think he might fall. And NetCrick is so low, though, and Maxon's going to pick him up. The slam down from Mason was good, but Maxon not being able to burst out with the Armor Monster. Just Rose the only one slapped with the Rainfire.
Crush coming out as well, taking Gruff down extremely low. He needs to be careful with his next step. Just Rogue may be able to take him out if he's not careful. With Runner Barana, he's trying to chase down Alkira, but the minions are going to keep him held up. But he may find a little fight with Gruff if he's game enough.
Alkira's base cancelled out there by Runner, and Rogue was looking for some engage potential, looking for some burst of slow. He's got to be insanely careful about now. And Pressure starting to swing the way from Invidious. Look at TopNotch, the blink under doesn't quite find the Fearless, and he's just gonna swagger walk out to the right hand side. Exit stays right.
You guys didn't see that, right? No, cool. Right, see you next time.
Anyway, Maxon's going to continue diving on towards Just Rogue. Just Rogue's in trouble here. They might look to chase him out. Barrage from Freemason, I think, just as a zoning tool more than anything.
Back spin. But
Have a hammer.
Chiefs now, they may be looking towards this Gold Fury. They're gripping up. Oh, ask you a question now, Kiro. How do you feel about that stun coming out?
Uh-oh, Runner's in trouble. Gruff's going to burst through him with the tick damage from the Viper shot. Mason's going to take to the sky here. They're grouped up insanely well for a slam down. Misses everyone, but makes them grouped up and gets the split on towards Gruff, who's looking for a stun. Didn't quite find it. Berserker Barrage doing so much from Freemason to that passive, but it's all the tick damage. And Alkiro to finish him off, and Notch is in a lot of trouble. Will be picked off by Gruff as well.
Yeah, Just Rogue and NetCrick now just have to try and run away as fast as they can. NetCrick may be sacrificing himself for the good of his comrade here, but now the Gold Fury will be going the way of Chiefs Esports Club, which is not what Invidious wanted. They're starting to get even more of a lead, so it's going to be very hard for them to try and fight back and keep Chiefs from really just suffocating them.
As soon as the Gold Fury dropped, the lead jumps out in gold to just under 6k for the side of the Chiefs. Invidious 9k XP behind as well. They've got a lot to do, but look at where those levels advantages are. It's 16 on Gruff to 13 of Runner Barana, 13 on Notch, 14 on Kiro, 2 in the jungle as well, and 3 in the mid lane. 3 on both the carry roles here, Timmy.
Yeah, it's just the carry roles is such an important one to have that level of advantage. Now, Medusa, she's not exactly late game. I won't call her late game, but she does do well in the mid game, which is where she is right now. And they're just taking advantage of it. Gruff's got some good petrifiers coming out here. Although they're not landing all of the stuns, they are doing the damage, they are slowing down the team, and they are forcing Invidious to try and think quickly on that feet. While they're doing that, they're getting ambushed left, right, and center from Alkiro. They really have to be on that guard right now.
Take a look at the player damage as well on the player stats. It's going to see Maxon. We expect him really to be at the top, but have a look at where TopNotch is. He's right down the bottom. Alkiro is third. Kiro's third. Just Rogue is doing so much for his team, but Runner Barana's a long way down the list as well. He's 2k damage behind Gruff.
Yeah, Runner Barana, he didn't really have that early game that he needed. He was behind from the get-go with that Bluestone. I get why he did it, however, it was a disadvantage from the begin with, so maybe coming down to the draft picking. However, in the mid lane, Cackle coming out down onto NetCrack. He is going to fall down to the way of Maxon, getting another kill, but TopNotch is coming in the back line. He may be able to find something. Freemason coming up with the Anvil of Dawn.
They were thinking about an engage. As soon as NetCrick fell, they're like, we don't have enough tools to fight this. We've got to surrender it. He's going to grab the tower on their way out as well. They're looking at TopNotch just to zone him, just to get some poke down. They want to secure back camps. They want to secure continued XP. Small power play that they've got left.
They want to make sure that they know where TopNotch is and that he's in combat, so he can't come out of nowhere. That Blink Fearless onto all of them, push him under tower. But Runner Barana, he is also going to get forced out on the opposite side, near those left back camps. And now Chiefs, they're realizing they're not going to be able to get anything straight away. Invidious, they're really putting up a fight for this tier 2 tower, so they're going to go ahead and try and move towards this left-hand tier 1 tower.
Alkiro has spotted that Runner Barana is behind here, and he might come around for him. The Axe Call was to clear out the minion wave. Runner's in a lot of trouble right now. He's realized that he's starting to get the heck out of here, just making sure that he can get away. The tower's taken down, and Chiefs continuing to push. They want to go aggressive here.
No, they don't. They're going to go ahead and fall back because they know it's going to be exactly like it was in the mid lane. Invidious, they're just too fortified right now for Chiefs to try and crack them. They don't want to give anything up. They don't want to throw away a game with a bad dive. So they're going to start chipping away at Invidious little by little, trying to get them down to the point where they can do those dives and they can get those wipes. And then they're going to go for something like a Fire Giants.
Well, Chiefs spacing, picking up some more items, starting to come through. Sovereignty already online. Looking at that Heartward amulet, I believe it is, for the next item coming through on the side of Prenzel. But taking a look at the mid lane, it's the difference in penetration between the two mid laners. But the Mage's already online. Magic Focus, the only bit of the penetration path that's already online for the Scylla.
The thing is, though, is that Crazy OCE, he doesn't have a whole lot to really have a contention with the protections. Because right now, the only magical protections is on Nick Rick with that Silver Talisman, which did end up getting a nerf in one of the more recent patches, so it's not as strong as previously. But
take a look at the left-hand side. Freemason's going to get dived on by Maxon, and Maxon's starting to regret this. Petrify lands on 2, but no stuns, and now they might turn around and look at Gruff. The man advantage, Nick Crick's in trouble. Nick Crick falls, and he did burn the ultimate as well. The cats are out, and that is just the damage that Maxon is doing right now.
Maxon, he loves building as much penetration and power as possible so that all of his abilities do as much as possible. He's not wasting time with people's protections. He ain't got time for that.
Ain't got time for no protections. He's doing so much damage. He's in the lead at 16.5k. This is a man on a mission, and he's been on that mission since week 1 of the Pro League, Timmy. Maxon has got one of the highest KDAs in the Pro League, and he doesn't like losing out on that one.
No, he doesn't. He just really does what he does best, which is just kill people left, right, and center. However, there is a siege both in the left lane and in the mid lane. Freemason going down to Maxon.
And Maxon comes out on the better half of the left-hand side. Mid lane thinking about a little bit of pressure, not quite able to do it. And Maxon will just rotate around. They get the left-hand tower. There's nothing Rana can do. He's just not strong enough to take on this Medusa.
No, he's not. He's only just finished off the Warrior Tarbai. He hasn't gone any further with his active items because he knows he cannot afford to spend any more. But look at Alkira, who's zoning out the entire team of Invidious while the Gold Fury goes down to Chiefs.
And Barana's got a long way forward. They might look for some CC here. Maxon's going to leap forward, won't quite find anything. No Razor Whip goes for him. Alkiro's looking to continue the aggression. They're a long way into the Invidious jungle here, but they've got enough pressure on the map, and Top Notch is the next target.
Top Notch, he's just not big enough. Actually, 2-man Fearless coming out there as well, but there's no one to really save him. Nick again, a 5-man Wrath of Terror. I had to count that for a moment.
But it's not quite going to be enough. Alkiro's going a long way forward. Just Rogue gets Maxon killed off, and Freemason's in the backline doing what he can. This is without Rana. This is a 1-for-1 trade without Rana. Alkiro, though, look at where his positioning is. He's a long way back, and he's just zoning them away. There's nothing they can do. All they can hope for is for Rana to get 2 towers on the left-hand side because they're not going to be able to defend the mid one.
This is what Alkiro does best. He gets those really bulky warriors just cannot kill, especially the ones with the healing, like Chuck and Hercules, and maybe a little bit of Sun Wukong. And he's just this brick wall that the enemy team cannot get through. Invidious are struggling to deal with him because they can't kill him because he takes too long to get rid of, and they can't ignore him because he does too much damage because he's so far ahead. It's just constant annoying poke damage and zoning. And that's what Chiefs are doing. They're using him as a tool to make sure that they get the objectives that they need to split up Invidious so they can take those advantages and take the lead as far as they can.
Well, look at the health bar of Valkyro now. He's got a Hide of the Urchin. He's got a Frostbound Hammer online. There is more black than red in that health bar. That's how far ahead he is. And he's going to stick to whoever he finds here as well, Timmy.
Yeah, he's got a massive 3,010 health. Like, that's kind of how
not even level 18.
He's got more health than Princeell. He's got about 500 more health than Princeell. Like, that is insanity.
Sanity combined right there in the form of Valkyro. But this is not a friendly matchup we might talk about on the right-hand side. Top notch. I think one of the solo lanes he's done the worst against. Actually, Thor is going to take up. They're looking at Max and looking to try and stop him out. He's gotten ages. He lives a little while longer, but he's still got to get away. There's the pounce. They're going to chase him so long from the side of Invidious. He's still not dead. And with the rest of the team starting to pile in, there's no carries, though. If they kill off Maxon, they can end this fight right here. I'm a monster. Oh! No, it doesn't quite land, but Top Notch will secure the kill.
Yeah, I'm a monster, not managed to get anything, but Wk4 does take Freemason with the Stomp Hold. Runner in a dangerous spot. He needs to leap out of here, get away as quickly as he can, but he can't really go to Nickrick and Just Rogue as they're getting chased down by the forces of Wk4. Petrify coming out, doesn't land a stun, but does slow down Nickrick, and they do pick him off. Just Rogue does have to retreat. They cannot defend this tier 2 tower. They don't have the muscle.
They're gonna try. Top Notch wants to try. As he blinks, he's got the Fearless. It's only on a Pretzel. There's beats from Gruff, so that'll signal the disengage. Surely, Crush goes down. They're looking for stuns. It's on towards Top Notch. The fight is starting to come out. Top Notch doing what he can. He's sustaining an incredible amount. He's doing a lot of damage to that backline, but it's his front line that needs to do the damage now because he's just too low, and Gruff will kill him off.
Yeah, Just Rogue now is going to get taken even lower as that axe does land on top of him just before he sandals out. There's going to be a complete disengage. Invidious, they cannot be grouped up at this moment simply because they're either dead or they're backing while someone else is coming forward. They're just on a rotation at the moment and they're at a very weak point. They need to group back up and just try and find any kind of advantage or lead that they can try and get.
Well, they're looking for wards in and around that Fire Giant, but of course, the wards on anyone that was anywhere near it at this point in time, and look at the warding coming through from the side of the Chiefs. They've bought so many wards coming back out of their space. Top Notch is the only one with a sentry. I feel this is going to be a Fire Giant.
Yeah, Wk4, he's got 9 wards placed, followed by Princeal at 7. They're not giving up any vision. They're taking all the map control that they can take and just know exactly where Invidious are, and they're going to go ahead and start this Fire Giants.
Yeah, and this should be sniffed out by Invidious. You got to feel there's no ward on it though, so they're going to have to play it by ear. They get the snare on towards Prenzel, so that tells me immediately that the Fire Giant is being burned through, but it's already gone. They get the spot on that red ring of death around Prenzel, and they're forced to just run.
Prenzel putting on his makeup, just actually, lure Nickrick and Freemason away for as long as possible. And as soon as they saw that Fire Giant buff coming onto him, they knew danger was coming in the area, so they just turned straight back around. But Runner in the left-hand side, taking up that tier 1 tower. However, he needs to be back home because his Phoenix is now under attack.
Not just under attack, they're diving at Freemasons is in direct amount of trouble. Nickrick, not the best as well. That Phoenix is going to do a large amount to take out all those cats, though. He should live, but look at the damage on a Rogue. That was 1-2 spells from Max, and Phoenix falls. They're still trying to do what they can, but it's now the Phoenix that's going to be under threat of the Chiefs. Can Invidious buy enough time? They've got to defend this right. Phoenix, they're going in.
Freemason going in with the Anvil of Dawn. Petrify coming out there as well. Gets Nickrick. Freemason does get taken out.
Valkyrie's based.
Top Notch in the backline, gain Gruff, push him into the Phoenix, but Princeal is already tanking that up. He's a big tank.
Can Runner deal with Wk4 here? Wk4 based. I don't think they got that Phoenix. It's living with a sliver on the right-hand side. Maxon is going to clean off and finally finish off Just Rogue. They're trying to work on this one as quickly as possible. There's 2 Phoenixes down. Runner has to base. He has done. Invidious are trying to group up, but I think it's too late. They needed to get that left Phoenix to give themselves a chance.
Gonna go ahead and back up here because if we take a look at a golden hand, everyone is above 1,000. Cackle actually coming out there due to the cheeky nature scruffs. Maxon is not happy with that. Freemason's going up again.
Runner is just absolutely dead, and Top Notch, there's nothing he can do about this third Phoenix. Saw 1 minion backdoor on a Titan today. I don't think this one's going to be a minion backdoor because they're just going to walk in the front door. It's the only structure standing for Invidious.
Yeah, Invidious, they just really need to they need to find something
Cataclysm
quick.
Comes down underwards 2 from the Chiefs. They're going to secure up Freemason. Top Notch is still trying to live. He's buying time for those cooldowns. He's surely going to die before they come back in. Nickrick doing what he can. Did the Wisp get onto Top Notch? No, they didn't. Gruff secures him off. That means that Nickrick and Just Rogue are the only 2 alive, and for an extended period of time as well. Here comes the Titan fight.
Titan's gonna go ahead and get under attack now. Nickrick gets picked up by Wk4. Just Rogue is all by himself. The next person to respawn is Runner at another 8 seconds. But Just Rogue's gonna get taken down from the Phoenix. No! Yes! Wk4 gets him inside of his own fountain, and that's gonna be game to Chiefs Esports Club.
Oh, well done to the Chiefs Esports Club. They're going to walk away from this series with a 2-0 victory and maintain their undefeated status, but they've got a rough matchup next week. I feel like they're playing against, it's either AV or Direwolves next week.
That's going to be one hell of a game, because that's going to decide who's going to be in second place and who's going to be in third place. Because so far, those top three teams have not versed each other, and we've just seen them steamroll through everyone that they've gone to pass. When they start facing each other, we're going to separate the men from the boys.
Time to separate the men from the boys from this series. We've got 3 MVP awards to throw out. And Timmy, Maxon's been #1 thus far. I don't think you can look past him once again.
I'm kind of disagreeing a little bit, because I reckon Alkiro has been doing exceptionally well. He's been in so deep, forcing Invidious out of the fight or forcing them into an ambush point. Although Maxon did so great, I think he's a close second.
Maxon did so much player damage, though. He did so much player damage, and he put a lot on the map and got them snowballing. That, for me, like his rotations around the map and just his presence on the map, especially when you consider that first game and his gameplay on the Athena, he got his left-hand lane rolling.
Yes, okay. I will change my mind. Maxon, he impressed me with the Athena gameplay. He was in so many of the fights, so many of the kills. He did so well on 2 very diverse characters, an assassin and a guardian. So I will give him my first MVP spot, but I have to protest that Alkiro gets #2.
I'm gonna agree with Alkiro, because you know Alkiro, he needs to step down. He needs to step up and put down Top Notch. Top Notch is so crucial to the roster of Invidious, and he did so. He was always ahead. From word go in that first game, in the Neath vs Loki matchup. Yeah, it's a hard matchup for Loki, but he got that tower. He shoved it down.
He got it within 10
And
minutes.
he never allowed Top Notch to roam around the map and get involved. He didn't allow Top Notch to sit in lane and farm up. He forced Top Notch's hand. Top Notch had to go nowhere. Alkiro, great job.
Yeah, now, I'm going to say for #3, I'm going to give it to Crazy OCE, because he's been picking, counter-picking, playing, counter-playing, Just Rogue the entire time. He picked up a Scylla to take it away from him, to put him in that weak spot. But then, even though Just Rogue got his signature Scylla, he still did so much better. Just early lane domination, as you expect from an Agni Scylla matchup. But he was just in so many of those fights where he needed to be, and he was so safe while doing it. In the game that we just watched, he was 7-1-14, only died once, when Invidious were actually fighting back and getting some kills under their belts.
Yeah, and the only other option, I mean, Gruff did okay. Gruff did alright, he played his lane well, but Prenzel played exceptionally well as well today. He's done a lot on Ares, and then flipping that over and playing the total opposite end of the scale as well on the gap. He's just there, setting up really, really nice cataclysms with the stone shield. He's ready and waiting. He's always in the wings. It's a tough one for me, Timmy. I'm going to give the call to you. You have final call on this one.
You got a coin to flip? Okay. So, Crazy OCE, he's been playing exceptionally well. He's playing exceptionally smart. Prenzel played 2 very different Guardians. One very aggressive, very early, one very passive, very late. He still did so much from beginning to finish. So, you're very persuasive, Rank. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Prenzel as our #3 MVP.
So 3, 2, and 1. It's going to be Maxon, and then it's going to be straight into Alkiro at #2, and then Prenzel is going to be your 3rd and final MVP from the night. That is going to be it here from this week of the OPL, and as we say farewell to it, there are still 3 teams standing at the top. They are going to be 8-0 after 4 weeks of games. It's Avant-Garde, it's the Direwolves, and it is the Chiefs Esports Club that you just saw. 2 of those teams in Chiefs Esports Club and AV will be facing off next week. If you want to see that all, it'll be once again right here from 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday Australian Eastern Standard Time, GMT +10, because we do have some international viewers tuning in. Make sure you join those games. It is going to be an intense week of games, but unfortunately, from Timmy, from myself, from the entire production and administration crew, it is going to be time to say it, ladies and gentlemen. It is bye for now, not forever, and we'll see you next time, right here on TeamDownTV 2.
See you next time.